Hey, everybody. It's Jess Faulkner, and this is the introduction to Just Jess, my first podcast. I wanted to take this episode to introduce you to me and my situation, and then explain what I will be talking about on this podcast. Now, I'm not going to do videos from here on out. I will do just audio recordings, and occasionally I'll have videos. But I thought for this introduction, you could see me and learn a bit about me and this podcast. So, like I said, my name is Jess. It's just Jess. Not Jessica, not Jessie, just Jess. I'm a 33-year-old mother of two, married, happily married. Um, I'm a stay at home parent who also owns their own business and works. I'm also a working parent. Um, I'm mentally ill and I was recently diagnosed with cancer. So, those are kind of the topics I really want to focus on my podcast. I really want to talk about the blood cancer that I have, the essential thrombocythemia, which I don't think is really talked about enough. I want to talk about the struggles in life as a parent, to two kids, being married, being a military spouse, just the struggles life brings us, no matter our standing or our situation. So I want to talk about that too. I also want to talk about mental health because it's one of the most important things in my life. I'm diagnosed with type 2 bipolar disorder, with obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, um, with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. So I take a whole slew of medications for that. And for my cancer, I'm currently on oral chemotherapy 2 times a day. So I do that. Um, but in the meantime, I'm just trying to live my best life. And I am just trying to live my best life. Which is hard to do sometimes, to be honest, because things get really hard or things get really busy, and it's a struggle for me. And I'm almost, I'm closer to 35 than I am to 30. I'm just, aging like everybody else is. But I'm just trying to enjoy my 30s, um, while having a cancer that I'll live with for the rest of my life, while being a mother, while being a wife, while being a business owner, and while just being a person, being a woman, while being a non binary person. Um, you know, just trying to navigate the waters. So I hope that you'll do that with me. Um, Things I really want to talk about: fashion. I love clothes. I love shoes. I love accessories. I love clutches. I definitely want to talk about fashion. I want to talk about organization as well, because that, as somebody who has OCD, makes me very happy. Very happy to talk about organization. And right now, my closet is super organized, and that is bringing me some major calm vibes that I need. So I'm very happy that my closet's organized right now. Just looking at it makes me happy. I want to talk about parenting too, you guys. We practice gentle parenting. I mean, I know that's not for everybody, and some people think that means just giving your kid anything that they want, and it doesn't, let me tell you. It doesn't. It just means being chill, like, all the time and giving your kid room to talk and acknowledging their feelings and stuff like that. So, there's not a lot of yelling in this house or raised voices. We're pretty chill parents. Pretty chill parents. I want to talk about that. We'll talk about that. Obviously, I have tattoos and piercings. That's kind of a big part of my life. I've got them all over my arms and my body. But because I'm on blood thinners, I won't ever be able to have a tattoo again, which really sucks because I love tattoos. So go through my depression with me regarding that. Regarding that, go through that with me. I want to talk about food. I'm a chef. I've owned my own business since 2017 called Leftovers Limited Company. I'm a personal chef. I go to people's houses and I throw them dinner parties, or I do meal prep for them for a week at a time, or I go grocery shopping for them, or I organize their pantries, or I just help them in the kitchen if they need an extra set of hands. I just help them in the kitchen. Excuse me. Um, so that's what I do. Sorry, there's a floaty hair on there. Just wanted to pull that off. That's what I do as a personal chef. I do events. I really love to do events. I did a multicultural day in Montclair that was just so wonderful, and I'm very proud of it, and I really loved it. And it's like my baby that somebody else is gonna have to take care of now that I've moved away. But um, so I want to talk about. How about marriage? How about marriage? How crazy is marriage? How crazy is marriage? Dedicating the rest of your life to one person, and growing with them and changing with them and loving them through their changes. I mean, I'm very thankful that my husband is who he is because over the last 7 years, I have changed a lot since we first got married. And that's why we get married every year. That's a big reason why we get married every year. Because people change and we want to recommit ourselves with all the change every year. Because, we said I do 7 years ago, but we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. um, which I guess is how I feel about it. I just didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. And it's wonderful. It's so wonderful to grow with somebody and to change with somebody and to grow as a couple. That's very sweet and very romantic, I think. So I want to talk about that too. I love my husband. He's my best friend. He's he's the funniest person I know. He's the funniest person I know. He's the smartest person I know. And he's by far the most honest person I know. Um, I really love him very much. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. So, besides marriage and children and cancer and mental health and fashion, let's talk about all of it. Let's talk about trauma. Let's talk about home decor. Let's talk about history. Let's talk about all of it. I'll just come up with new topics each week for us to talk about, for me to talk about with you, some current events or something to do with fashion, or one of the topics that we already talked about. And I'll talk to you about that for the week. I plan to have these come out on every Wednesday. Um, so we'll see how well that works. We'll see how well that works. I get pretty tired doing my chemotherapy, so I can't make any promises. So, um I wanted to start off this podcast with a little bit of information about me. Um I have a I was just diagnosed in October with a rare blood cancer called essential thrombocythemia. It just means that my blood makes too many platelets. And they found this out by discovering a blood clot in my liver called a portal vein thrombosis in my liver. Then they checked my blood levels and saw that my platelets were elevated, but my platelets have been elevated for some time. They just couldn't make a diagnosis until they had another symptom, such as the portal vein thrombosis in my liver. So then they finally diagnosed me with this cancer, and it's one I'll live with for the rest of my life. There's no going into remission. There's no stages. There's only phases, um, which are progressive and non-progressive. And it's something you just live with. It's something you just live with. And it could turn into acute myeloid lymphoma. No, that's not right. Acute leukemia. Um, so that's kind of scary. Um, it does damage to your bone marrow after a while, but I haven't had it long enough for it to damage my bone marrow. And I'm triple negative, which means I tested negative for the three genetic mutations that they usually check for with essential thrombocythemia. Music. I want to talk about music because music is my love. Besides food, it's a huge passion of mine. I play the guitar. I love to sing. I play the saxophone. I mean, you just give me an instrument and I'll play it. That's how that works. But I'd love to talk about music and let you guys know what I'm listening to lately. Um, and I guess too, I am trying to lose weight. I'm bigger than I ever have been after having 2 kids and having my gallbladder taken out. I just got so big. And so now I'm trying to lose weight by going to the gym with my mom and my husband. And I want to document that too and kind of tell you guys how I'm doing that just in case this becomes an amazing success story. Cuz I used to model in my 20s, so I know I'm a little piece. Um, but right now it's just a little camouflage by the extra weight. By some extra weight. Uh, I mean, I still think I'm a little piece, but not like I used to be in my 20s. That's okay. I was hot enough to pull my husband, so and then I got fat and I tricked him. It's okay. He got big too. He got a dad bod, which I love. I love his dad bod. Oh, love it. Love it. Love that dad bod for sure. He's got the best shoulders. Anyways, don't let me sit here and just talk about my husband's shoulders. Cause I could all day, all day. I want to talk about trauma too, because I grew up in a pretty traumatic environment, with traumatic scenarios. I want to talk about some nitty gritty stuff. Um, I want to talk about childhood trauma. I want to talk about sexual trauma. I want to talk about abuse and neglect and all of that. I want to really get into that and talk about it all. So that's what I want to do too. So that kind of wraps up what I want to do. That kind of wraps up the first introduction of this podcast. Um, I will put in some more notes and see what else we want to talk about. and get back to you guys for the next episode, hopefully to drop on Wednesday. So thanks so much for listening, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.